Hey guys, Dexterity here back with another Diablo 4 video. Today we're going to be going through a quick rundown of Paragon Boards. What are they and how do they work? So Paragon Boards are a new system being introduced in Diablo 4 to expand the character customization beyond a character's skills and gear. The max level that you can currently gain in Diablo 4 is 100, that being that you'll hit a level of 50 and every level after that gives you 4 Paragon points until you hit 200 points, thus 50 extra levels on top. You can gain an additional 20 Paragon points from renown that you'll gain whilst playing through the game and doing quests on the map. This will include strongholds, collecting altars of Lilith, and doing specific quests. Unlike Diablo 3, where Paragon points were an additional stat boost that you can add to your character endlessly, such as adding extra strength or vitality, in Diablo 4, Paragon points are customizable stat pathways that you can choose based on which direction players want their character to take and the build that you choose to create. At the edge of each Paragon board is a gate. Once players have chosen enough Paragon points to hit the gate, they can choose to select a new Paragon board. The Paragon board that you select will be based on a specific legendary tile. When the gate tile is selected, players will also receive an additional 5 stat boost to all 4 stats: strength, intelligence, willpower, and dexterity. Now there's a few important things to note with Paragon boards. First are the different tile types. Normal tiles are these grey tiles, which provide minor stat boosts, such as providing 5 stat points to strength, willpower, intelligence, or dexterity. Blue magic tiles are less common, but provide stronger stat boosts or more diversified benefits, such as resistance or extra power. Yellow rare power tiles are very powerful boosts to your character and are completely build defining. There are 6 yellow nodes per board, not including the starter board. After that, as I mentioned, after a gate tile, every subsequent Paragon board that you add will be defined by a legendary tile. You'll also find an empty slot on Paragon boards called a socket. You'll be embedding glyphs that you find throughout the world of Sanctuary into these sockets. These sockets are going to be completely build defining and will grant enormous boosts of damage or stats based on how you've chosen your build. Now there's a very important interaction that occurs between yellow rare nodes and glyph sockets, such as some yellow rare nodes will provide bonuses based on how much stats that you have. To truly maximize these stats, you need to spec into certain stats if you want to gain the bonuses and pre-plan beforehand what Paragon boards or rare or legendary bonuses you want. Take for instance this particular node, Smoldering Embers. You can see this particular node has a bunch of stats on it. At the bottom, there's also a bonus, but the bonus requirement is that I need to have 250 dexterity on my character in order to achieve that bonus. It's important that I build my character up to the dexterity amount in order to really take advantage of that bonus, meaning that I would also have to include normal and magic tiles that include dexterity in my build. Rare yellow nodes are going to be particularly important with glyphs, as some rare yellow nodes will provide bonuses based on how much stats you have. In this particular case, this rare node says for every 5 intelligence purchased within range, crackling energy deals extra 4% increased damage. That means within this glyph radius, I can pick up additional 5 intelligence, and that will increase my crackling energy damage by 4%. This means that I want to maximize and collect every single node that has 5 intelligence in order to maximize the damage. Now this particular glyph provides bonuses based on how much stats I gain within that radius. On the other hand, there are also glyphs which provide bonus stats to all the additional nodes around that glyph radius within that range. In this particular case, this rare glyph, Tactician, says grants 50% bonus to all rare nodes within that range. So you can see in this instance, I have 2 rare nodes here, and this will provide a 50% bonus to these particular stats. This means in order to maximize these 2 particular bonuses, I will want to have at least 270 willpower to gain the bonus of the Cinders node, and I will also want to have 250 dexterity to take advantage of the Smoldering Embers node as well. Now I'm using a site called Diablo4builds.gg. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check this website out. This is the site that I'm using to create, theory craft, and test out a lot of different builds, so check it out when you can. The cool thing about this tool is that it gives you a bunch of stats at the top. This stat is the Glyph radius stats. So what that means is within a particular Glyph socket that you put in, this radius adds up to these particular stats. Now this is important if you want to min-max a certain build. So for example, I can see that this particular amount of stats, 39 willpower, 39 dexterity, if I gain the dexterity and willpower within this Glyph radius, I can potentially contribute that to gaining these particular thresholds, such as hitting 250 dexterity or hitting 270 willpower. Now note that whilst different Paragon boards do display a different amount of Glyph stats per board, so you can see this particular board has 39 Glyph stats around the Glyph radius, and Intelligence 70, this particular board has 49. So because this one has 49, I would probably want to prioritize taking dexterity from this board rather than this one. I can see I've added a third board here. This one has more willpower, and around this particular Glyph radius here, these stats have 49. So if I insert in a Glyph in here, I can take willpower stats from here, and that will add a bit more willpower than taking it from this side, because I only have 200 points to spare. Now note that these particular stats aren't the end all and be all. You can choose your own path, and you don't necessarily need to take a specific board because of the Glyph stats radius, because the reason why you might choose a particular board might be due to the legendary power instead, rather than the Glyph. The other thing to note is that each board that you take will increase the number of stats that you need for that particular node. So in this case, I have a third Paragon board, and this third Paragon board requires 350 dexterity as opposed to 250 dexterity on this one. And then this first board only has a 170 dexterity requirement for that power. So each subsequent board that you add on will end up costing more stats for hitting those thresholds. That was my quick rundown of Paragon boards. If you found this video helpful, please drop me a like down below and leave a comment on the video. As always, have an awesome day, and bye for now.